We keep getting these, like I said, these drip drab releases of information. I made it very clear to the president of Sterigenics today that that's just not going to cut it moving forward. Like I said, we talked about them giving the information to the Air Quality Oversight Committee, but I also said that there needs to be more transparency. I've been in contact with the governor's office 3 times today. As a matter of fact, we talked about the fact that they are out there right now at the plant because we want to see how they can tell us in 15 minutes that it was not more than 10 pounds. So, and the governor has been extremely cooperative and helpful to the county. I've been talking to him numerous times over the last couple of weeks, and he met with Sterigenics president, and we have been in constant communication as to what we need to do to make sure that the citizens are safe.
So for the tinfoil hat people who hear about this and say, oh, they're trying to cover something up, or they're not being fully transparent with this.
Well, and I asked that question because I just met with them this afternoon, and then I find out about this tonight. And what I was told was that the president didn't actually know about it because it was not a reportable incident. He was actually on his way to the plant to get the list that I had asked for, because I've asked for the last 5 years information, and then moving forward on a monthly basis. And so, they have agreed to do that.
So with the frustrations you've been dealing with, are you asking for more transparency and for that to be sustained, or are you wanting them to move out of town?
Right now, I want more transparency. Until we do the testing, we really are not going to be able to know what is the difference between what the plant is putting out and what is the background. Because, for example, in the mountains of New Hampshire, the background is 0.3 micrograms per cubic meter of air. And the DeKalb test here in Atlanta area showed the same thing, a 0.3. According to the EPD, they're putting out 0.02. So, that's one of those things that we don't know, and we need to find out. And so that's why the county, the city of Atlanta, and the city of Smyrna are cooperating to do testing to get those numbers. And then EPD is going to do a longer term test.
So does the president only know about releases that are over 10 pounds? Because if that's the case, then how many spills have happened that has never
I can't answer that. That's probably a question for the Sterigenics guy. But moving forward, and that's why I've asked for anything that's not reported to the EPD that gets reported to the Air Quality Oversight Committee.
Because it must have still been significant, even if the sensors only can sense something that's.
Well, no, what happened was there was a leak at a valve. They shut the valve off, and so according to them, it was 5.6 pounds.
But then everyone still had to be evacuated.
Right. Well, there's they have procedures in place that are required by OSHA that they have to follow, and so I think that might be part of that step. But I think the important part moving forward is that I have asked for, and they have agreed to provide now on a monthly basis everything that happens in that plant that is not reported to the EPD.
Has the governor's office given you any indication or sense of what they're out there doing right now?
Well, it's a hazard response team, so they are going out partially to find out exactly how Sterigenics determines how much is released. Because according to EPD rules, they only have 15 minutes to notify EPD if there's a release that's over the 10 pounds. So the question is, how do you do it? How do you determine how much is released? And so the governor's office has sent out EPD to determine how that's done.
Are they out there right?
They are out there right now.
So then, what with yesterday's meeting that was here, how much does this destroy the relationship?
Well, yesterday's meeting, what I asked them to do when they came down here yesterday was to talk about the path forward. And, in the path forward, this will be the second time that they've agreed to put in equipment that's going to reduce the emissions from the plant. Right now, they're at about 225 pounds a year, and the equipment that they're going to put in is going to lower it to 40. And so that's the part that's measured coming out of the stack. A lot of what they're doing with their changes is going to be collecting that air that is inside the building. They're going to make it essentially into a vacuum. So, for example, what happened on the 31st, where they had a release with the new equipment that's going in place, that air would have been captured by the scrubbers.
So then yesterday they talked about the combustion issue that happened, and that one project was still in back on the later. It's like much ETO for it.
Well, and that's why in the chambers, what we're told in the tour we got was that it is filled with nitrogen. So when it's being purged, it's purged with nitrogen so that there is not oxygen in contact with the ETO.
You mentioned the drip grab of information that keeps coming out, this and that. What is your worry about what that does to the already very antsy neighbors that live?
Well, what I told the president today was this drip drab release of information destroys the trust anybody might have or their ability to rebuild trust in the fact that they're willing to release information. And that's why I told them that it was imperative that they start releasing information to the government officials, being the county, then the two city agencies, because the oversight committee includes members from Cobb County, Smyrna, Atlanta, the school board, or the Cobb County Schools, and Georgia Public Health. So, I think that by them releasing information to us, we will be able to get a better feel for what's been going on or what goes on a regular basis.